Hello, this is
Ready?
Elizabeth Claire Brewington, and I am with Discover Brightside, and we are doing our monthly series with our top experts for business and entrepreneur and career coaching. We've got a great set of speakers for you today in the studio, and we hope you're going to have a great time, just as great as I'm having everyone on. So we have Joseph S. Sanchez, who is our sponsor for today, and he is an author of 7 books. And I know you've seen him before, and he's backed by popular demand. And let me introduce you to him. So Joseph S. Sanchez is included in the marquee Who's Who, and for his involvement with his prestigious network for establishing and enhancing and fortifying the online brand. He was also named by us with our award as the top speaker and coach for the category of Brightside Empirical Review. And we are doing it again this year. So if you'd like to apply, you can go to our website. Mr. Sanchez is distinguished business expert, educator, and public speaker. He holds a bachelor, a BS, and an MBA. A prolific writer, he has authored 7 books, and every one of his books talks about leadership, personal growth. He is known for his exceptional communication skills and insightful perspectives. Sanchez is a valuable adjunct professor, great speaker for your next event, and he is a invaluable mentor and consultant in the field of business and personal development. He's a passionate sketcher, oil painter with a keen eye for detail, and he is embracing single life. He is eager to connect and collaborate. So over to you, Joseph. Tell us about Soar Like an Eagle.
Thank you for having me, by the way. Soar Like an Eagle is actually my second book. And the reason I wrote it, essentially, I feel, again, from being around the block a few times and experience in the workplace, that a lot of people don't have direction as to where they're headed. If you have no idea where you're going, you're not going to get there. And the book goes into, I have 11 points in it, which starts from your behavior, your procedure you should follow in the workplace to be able to be productive. And in the process, be a member, a valued member of your company, where hopefully you'll get raises and promotions. Now, in it, I go into supervising, how to hire people, how to motivate it, and what have you. So I try to give you a whole picture of what it takes to be successful in the workplace. I also go into finances. At the end of the day, it's not how much money you make, but how much you keep, how much you invest. And I go in specifically how to budget your money, methods, how to eliminate debt, how to get rid of expensive credit card debt, and again, ideas of how to invest your money. Because we don't get rich by working for someone. It's over a period of time. Savings and investing in good conservative vehicles that'll make your money grow. I also go into family life, very important. Maybe I should have made that first step. A good solid foundation is your family. If things are not so good at home, it's going to affect your behavior and your performance. There's nothing worse than leaving the workplace and going home and having to face strife and argument and unsettled issues. Again, I give you advice, how to solve problems, how to seek help if you can't manage it. Again, a very important part of our lives. I also go into diet, go into exercise. In the exercise, I talk about stretching, which is very important. As we get older, we lose flexibility. So stretching is an essential part of your program. And it doesn't have to be a long, extended thing. I do about between 5 to 15 minutes pretty much every day. I vary the routine. I don't do the same thing all the time. But again, you just feel better when you're flexible and you're not stiff and what have you. And as we know, older people fall down and break bones because they become stiff and not flexible. I talk about light weights to use it as well. You don't have to build your body up to be a competitor in bodybuilding. And then of course diet, which is an important element. I believe meditation, diet, and exercise are the three keys to help you stay healthy and to help you run on all your cylinders. These are the things that I feel are important, are vital things. I've received a fair amount of compliments about my book in the sense that when you read it, you feel like I'm talking to you, and I am. I make it conversational, easy to understand, and there's not a lot of jargon that you won't understand. So again, overall, if you ask me why I wrote that book, it's to give people direction in their life and professionally to be able to grow, be more productive, and just lead a happier life, home life, in the workplace. Oh, and by the way, I also go into continuing education. When we finish school, no matter how many degrees you might or might not have, it is essential you continue to grow. You continue to learn. And one of the things that I preach and I've done is I like to talk to people outside my industry, people that have a different background than myself. And I ask questions about how they run their business, how they do their job. And my thinking is, if I get one idea, the same thing, and I read a lot of books. If I get one idea, it's worth it. It's worth my time and the trouble to learn. So again, I give you a complete program. If you follow all 11 points, you definitely will see some nice changes. But even if you follow half of them or what have you. So again, that's what I always try to do with all my books, is to give the reader tools and motivate you to take a step further and continue to grow and not stay stagnant. And I don't care how well educated you are. You should always be reading, going to seminars, workshops, and not necessarily in your field. Again, that's how you grow. That's how you stretch the brain. And that's it in a nutshell.
I like it. I like it a lot. So does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, like first of all, Mr. Joseph, super nice your explanation about your book, and if you possible explain which kind of the meditation you utilize to to encharge yourself, like to have more energy in your day.
Oh, you mean what I do to motivate myself? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, like what is my question is like which kind of routine you utilize every day to encharge yourself, to have more energy in your day. You listening correct me or no? Sorry, guys.
No, yeah, good question. And actually, I didn't really get into it, but I've been meditating since graduate school, which is more than 3 years ago. I meditate 10 minutes in the morning when I get up, and 10 minutes before I go to bed. Now, I meditate in groups and all kinds of different things I've been involved with. And really, the most effective way for me is to meditate by myself. Now, in the morning, I have a guided, actually, I reversed it. In the morning, it's a free 10 minutes, but I have a routine in my head of the things that I go over. You see, meditation and prayer is actually the same thing. So, again, I'm not an overly religious man, but I'm certainly, I'm a spiritual person. So, again, in the morning, I'm thankful for everything that the Almighty has given me. And then in the evening, I have a guided one on a cassette that is generally about 10 minutes. And that is more overall. But here's the thing. I find since I've been meditating, it's been a while, that I feel more calm. I am motivated. I don't get as agitated as I did when I was a lot younger. And really, what the bottom line is in meditation is you want to quiet the mind. That's the key phrase here. You want to quiet the mind because we all have thousands of thoughts in our subconscious every day, and a great deal of them we're not aware. Another important part, I'm kind of getting a little off the point, but I'm not. When you're in an environment that is not up, if you hang out with a crowd that doesn't exactly follow, they're not popular, to be simple about it. So those type of things, those people you want to stay away from, because subconsciously, your subconscious picks up stuff that consciously you don't pick up. And it's not my opinion, it's been written about, that that does affect you after a while. There was a thing I read a long time ago that said basically, if you hung out with people that commit crime all the time, in the beginning, you go, wow, I'm great, how can they do such a thing? But the longer that you stay in that environment, you learn to accept it. And then you don't see it as bad. You see, it's affected your mindset and your personality. So obviously, again, I learned it early that to stay away from people that just, did things that I wouldn't do. And I had a pretty conservative upbringing. Again, to answer your question, I motivate myself. I do a lot of reading to this day of motivational books and stuff for me to learn and other things. I don't know how many books I've read, but it's easily been in the hundreds, easily. And I follow that stuff. Again, what am I am reprogramming my brain, my subconscious mind. That is what motivates me. That is, I can't stress that enough. And I wholeheartedly recommend that you do some type of meditation daily. I think at one time I did like 30 minutes at one time. And then I decided to just break it up. Excuse me. And I do 10 in the morning and 10 before I go to bed. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So for meditation, right? So what kind of meditation do you do? Like, do you hold your breath, or like, is there any type of meditation? Do you just close your eyes and then, wait, or like, how? Could you explain a little bit the process? Thank you.
Because as you know, and obviously it sounds like you're familiar by the question you're asking, there's a lot of different methods of meditation. To answer your question, like I said, I've been meditating longer than I like to admit. And I actually started, I tell you, I did it as an undergrad, not every day. Because I remember my junior year, we rented a house off campus. And I remember laying on my bedroom and meditating. That's as far back as I can remember. And I've done, all different types. To answer your question, I concentrate and shut off, any noise, usually the fan I might have going. I close my eyes, and the thing is deep breathing. You just listen and slow it down. Even at night, when sometimes I can't sleep, I'll do that. And what I do, I say to myself, relax, relax. And invariably thoughts will come up. Oh, gee, did I get the laundry? And, these kind of, they call them monkey mind. But to answer your question, to me, the most effective method is just to concentrate on my breathing. Close my eyes, I relax my body. I usually do it sitting up. I've done it laying down, but the problem is I fall asleep. So, I'm not able to complete it. But I sit on in fact, this is the chair that I sit on. Again, I close my eyes, my hands on my knees, and it's just start breathing deeper. Slow it down. And again, if you have to, say to yourself, relax. Again, I say it internally. I don't say it out loud. And usually that, in fact, it does work. 98% of the time. Once in a while, maybe if I just said, I just had of activity verbally, and I'm so jazzed up. It's not that easy to relax. Another reason why an hour or so before you go to bed, you should not watch TV. That's not a problem because I phased out TV to a great extent. I have saying that if I didn't watch TV for 5 years, then I turned it on, especially with the news, the newspapers, the same thing will happen. Only the names and the places will change. Or if there's a nuclear war, somebody will call you. I'm not, and at one time I was a news junkie, and then I realized that, especially if you watch like a CNN, every 20 minutes they kind of repeat the stuff, but there's no need. But again, really, you have to constantly, I can't stress this enough, you have to constantly work to keep your mind in positive areas of your life. The easiest thing is to think about bad events going on in the world, and it's always something going on. And what happens is, as I said before, it gets into your subconscious mind, and it prevents you from being as positive as you can. And everything I'm telling you, I've been doing for years, so it's not theory. It helps you to stay positive. Needless to say, well, we all are motivated more by avoiding pain than seeking pleasure. Again, we're all motivated more by avoiding pain than seeking pleasure. So that's the way that we're kind of wired. So again, I do my utmost, and not watching the news is one. Must be 4 or 5 years. In fact, I don't even watch presidential debates. None of that stuff. Same thing all the time. I used to watch. The only thing I watch these days is my beloved Yankees and the Giants or football season. Just sports, really. But I do read a lot of books, and I do get updates in the office on the news, but briefly. So again, what am I saying? I am saying that I found a way to relax my subconscious mind, and I try to feed it as much positive stuff as possible, and try to avoid negativity. That, to me, to be honest with you, that is the magic bullet, if you will. It works for me. Everybody's different.
Thank you.
Does it make sense what I said?
Yes, it does. Total sense. Relaxation is everything. I mean, if you're all stressed out, you can't operate and do any of the things we're talking about.
And I have another question, Mr. Joseph. And tell me a little bit like about your story, from the, how you tell us you build your inner self through meditation, correct? Meditation, you build you motivate every day with the, you read the book before you go to sleep. You shut down everything, old communication with the bad news. And in your personal life, like how, this kind, from how long you do this kind, the technique, and which kind of difference you see from now to before you use this kind of the technique. It means you see big difference in yourself and your final result in your life.
Well, yeah, I'm not 100% clear what you're asking, but I know the gist of what you're asking. How long has it taken me to achieve results? Is that one of the questions you're asking?
No, the question is like, you utilize this kind. You guys hear me or you have a problem?
No, we hear you fine. He's asking how long have you been doing this meditation, and what was life before you did it, and what is the life now after doing it?
Oh, okay.
Am I right?
Well,
yeah.
As I said, I started, as I said before, that I could pick up my junior year in college as an undergrad. That's when I started it. So you figure I was what, 22? No, 20, 21, whatever. And I had read about this for a while. And the book that really got me going was Cybernetics. I wholeheartedly recommend this book. It was written a long time ago by Dr. Maxwell Maltz. And essentially, what he said, he was a plastic surgeon, so you know. And people will come to him because they weren't happy in their life. And they felt that if they would have some kind of plastic, the nose, the mouth, whatever, it would make them happy. But he found out that it didn't always work. You had the perfect nose, exactly what you wanted, the mouth, whatever, but you were still not happy. So he figured out that it's up here. It's up here. I also say everything starts and ends between the ears, to answer your question. Prior to that figure, I was in my late teens and what have you, and where I wasn't as focused, obviously, as I will become later on. I was always, a pretty good kid, never trouble with the law. I was consumed by playing baseball, played that collegiately, what have you. So that was really, I would say, my ticket to stay straight. In other words, not deviate from the law. I got married, fairly young. I got married in my late 20s. Again, my personality is one, I guess it's like a type A. I would easily get excited and what have you. So I would say unsettled to an extent. I would work on multiple things at a time and not really complete any of them, and then wonder why I didn't do what I thought I'd do. So what am I describing here is lack of focus. I didn't have that. I would say that's the biggest thing. Because like I said, I got married, fairly young. And so that in itself obviously comes down, even though we waited a few years before we had our kids. But I would say the biggest area where I've seen change is my ability to focus, my ability just to tune stuff out. People try to distract you and all other things. And I've been complimented by bosses on this a few times, where you're able to keep your focus. That's it, I think. I'm able to do that.
Thank you.
And
thank you.
Oh, have I answered the question?
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. In a nutshell, it helps relax your mind, calm your mind, and in the process, you're just able to think clearly. You're able to think clearly and able to be more productive. That's it in a nutshell.
I agree. So it's like a whole life thing. It's not like a one-off thing. You do it and you stop. It's like a lifestyle change that you make to have more clarity, live a better life. Any more questions before we close out the section? Well, thank you, Joseph. This was a wonderful time we had. And actually, we were just talking about how we don't want to talk about meditation because it's such a big topic. So maybe that could be the next book. But thank you. We all had a great time. So please give him a big applause. And we will now move to our networking session, and I will stop recording. You're watching Discover Brightside, where we discover new authors, new things every day. And we have just discovered Joseph Sanchez on this channel. So thank you for watching. Make sure you hit the bell icon so that you never miss a video, and make sure you subscribe.